My name is Chris Burke, and I work at the National Down Syndrome Society, and I am the Goodwill Ambassador, and I go around doing my public speaking and try to promote awareness of people with Down syndrome, and which is really important because October is the Down syndrome Awareness Month, which is very important to us because they try to spread awareness of people like us with Down syndrome, because it's not about our disability awareness, it's about our ability awareness that we're trying to come across.
The human body is made of millions of cells. Inside the nucleus of each cell is genetic information found in chromosomes that determines all of a person's inherited features. Normally, each cell contains 23 chromosomes inherited from each parent, totaling 46 chromosomes per cell. The cell then divides so that all cells contain identical genetic information. A person with Down syndrome has an additional chromosome 21, so that there are 3 chromosomes instead of 2 on chromosome 21.
I know that everyone thinks that their babies are the most beautiful babies in the world, but truly, Lucy was the most beautiful baby in the world. This doctor came in and he said, I'm just taking a look at Lucy because she's evincing signs of trisomy 21. And I was all by myself, and I said, excuse me? It went from perfect to picking her apart, and it was, here was this perfect angel that I called my mother and said, seriously, the most perfect baby I've ever seen. 12 hours later, they're telling me everything that's wrong with her.
I had sent a message to my colleagues at work. Everybody's waiting for that email that says, Mom and baby are great. And so I felt like I had to send something to my colleagues. And what I sent said, she may not be perfect, but she's perfect for us. And she is. She's been a wonderful blessing.
How many of you would be interested in taking this magic pill? If I told you 99% of you who took it would be happy with your lives, 97% would like who you are, and 96% of you would like how you looked. More importantly, if you have brothers and sisters, 97% chance your brothers or sisters would be proud of you. An 88% chance that your siblings would say that they're better people just because of you. You see, my daughter was born with this magic pill. You see, at first, part of the confusion was because we were handed this long list of things that were probably going to be wrong with our child. Horrible disabilities and things affecting the facial features. The one that we were told to watch out for the most was the heart defects. We had to have immediate tests on. Come to find out, she did have a small hole in her heart. Over the course of the last year, I've come to realize that's where they pour the love in. 400,000 people with Down syndrome across the United States. 5,000 to 6,000 children are born each year here in the United States with Down syndrome. But about this magic pill, I can't sell you this magic pill. I can't even give it to you. I really want you to understand this. Down syndrome is not a disease. It's how my daughter was born. It affects the families in such wonderful ways. I had no idea. Nobody told me about this whenever we first found out. We were given these reports that addressed families with disabled children and how the divorce rates would be higher. The reality is, it's 50% lower for families with children with Down syndrome. It creates stronger parental bonds. More importantly, in my family, it's caused us all to focus on positive little things. Just a couple of weeks ago, my son and daughter were playing in the living room floor, and I was sitting on the couch reading a paper. My son yells over at me, "Daddy, Bethany just sat up, all by herself." He started clapping, I jumped up and started dancing around. She was full of big smiles. It was a little tiny moment in our lives that was just so special. There are so many families from around the world who are being affected positively by having a child with Down syndrome. This little girl just won a modeling contract with a top modeling agency. This young man at 20 years old became an Eagle Scout. That's an accomplishment. Only 5% of kids who enter the scouting program ever become an Eagle Scout. So if you have a family member or a friend of yours who just had a child with Down syndrome, don't tell them you feel so sorry for them. This is a positive thing. It's going to affect their family in such a positive way. Congratulate them. They don't understand it on day one, but it really is like winning the lottery for their family.
Research suggests that children with Down syndrome who've attended their local mainstream school have more success academically and are more successfully included in their communities. There are lots of strategies for inclusion. Here are just a few things that you might want to consider. Ensuring that the teacher aims to fully integrate the student within the life of the classroom is very important. It's better for the pupil with Down syndrome to be part of a regular classroom as opposed to them receiving instruction primarily through a support assistant. If the child has a support assistant, it's better that they assist the child in the class rather than withdraw them for individual instruction much of the time. More than half of children with Down syndrome suffer from spinal instability and physical difficulties. Modification of physical education may be necessary. For instance, use of a trampoline might not be advisable as it may jar the spine. There's a balance to ensuring inclusion while assessing risk. It is highly probable that a number of medical staff will have ongoing involvement with the child, and therefore schools should seek medical advice as part of their planning. Children with Down syndrome tend to be very visual learners. In addition to providing instructions and concepts orally, children will benefit from visual cues, pictures and diagrams. Allow children to repeat instructions to ensure they understand, and differentiate for the child. For instance, allow extra time to complete assignments or shorten them.
Hello, Michelle. Hello, Michelle. We're glad you're here today. Hi, Michelle. Hello, Evan. Hello, Evan. Hello, Evan. We're glad you're here today.
The Learning Program is a literacy and math early education program for children with Down syndrome, and it focuses on parents as first teachers, bringing the fruits of research into practice. It's based on 30 years of research in terms of how kids with Down syndrome learn. How kids are very much visual learners. They're very tactile. They learn to be able to touch things and feel things. And so what the research has shown is if you can translate early education materials into a way that, into a visual manner, into a way where they can touch and feel and understand things, our kids will pick stuff up like that.
Okay. Gorilla! Good girl. Cat! That's right, cat. Dog! That's dog. Good for you. Toes right there. Oh, no, good girl.
Interesting dilemma in Canada where a couple had a surrogate, right, that was supposed to give birth to their baby.
They has it.
But in the first trimester, a doctor revealed that that fetus was diagnosed with Down syndrome. So that baby was going to be born with Down syndrome. So the couple told the surrogate, look, we would like to abort this fetus because we don't want to have a baby with Down syndrome. And the surrogate said, no, I'm pro-life and I don't want to go through with the abortion. So the reason why this is interesting is because more and more cases like this are coming up as more and more people are turning to surrogates to have their babies.
No, that's super interesting.
I'm Monica.
Ask you, David.
Ask you, David.
To be my husband.
To be my husband.
Monica has always been in love with love. I'm just thrilled that she's happy, and he's the best.
When they met, he fell madly in love with Monica, but she rejected him big time.
These kids need to have a life of their own, and they're both trying to do that.
I think that Monica and David are very capable of becoming more independent, but it's the process.
Because we want to protect them so much, we are typically the first ones who treat them poorly by subconsciously denying them their rights. to have a normal life.